Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Voxson Oval here on the beautiful northern suburbs of Brisbane. It is the round 11 NEAFL clash between the Aspley Hornets and Sydney University. Mark Kennedy is my name. And joining me as usual, or as we usually get together, is Bob Batty, the encyclopedia of everything NEAFL and Queensland football. Welcome, Bob.
Yeah, great to be here, Kanga. A pleasure to be working with you, and what a beautiful day here. As you said, in the northern Brisbane suburb of Castledon, I suppose, and a big match for the Aspley Hornets. It's an 8-point game virtually for them today.
Well, it is a fifth, that is Sydney University versus 7th Aspley. So Sydney University 4-4, and 7th spot is Aspley, the home side, 3-5 from their 8 matches. And these two sides actually met in the first round. So I think a lot of people gave Aspley a very big tick with some of their recruiting coming into round one, and a loss of experience of Sydney Uni, probably thinking that they might drop off a bit. But it was the students that came away with a 47.1 to really, 47-point win to really set the scene, and probably, I suppose, stun the NEAFL to say Sydney Uni are still a good side in this competition. And Aspley, they had a little bit of way to go. Yeah,
Tommy Morrison, third season at the helm with the students, and they're well coached and well disciplined, and they play a good brand of footy. And it's just taken a little bit of time for Daniel Webster and his group to, I suppose, take it all in and start working together as a group. And as you say, they've had a lot of new recruits this year, and they're slowly finding some form. And they had a 6-goal win last week over Redland. And as you said, 3 wins, 5 losses. This is a must-win for them at home today.
Well, both sides are just heading out to their positions. We will get underway very shortly. I'll just get your thoughts on probably some better players and a tip, if you could, Bob, for the game today.
Yeah, look, for the students, I think Bartholomeus is in good form. Veal's a very good player. Bailey Stewart wins a lot of the footy. Hiscox is very quick. Sirakoski's experience is very important. Josh Stern up forward's been very good for him, as has Tristan Davies for Aspley, where you can't go past Matty Payne. Will Murphy's been good up forward. Spencer in the ruck going to be important. Freeman, they need some goals from him today. And Liam Dawson down back with Gavin Gross hold pretty strong. So, look, I reckon pretty even. Home ground advantage, maybe 1 or 2 points just Aspley's way, because they really need to win, Kanga.
That they do. They do need the win. I am going to go for the away side, the students, to really put 2-0 in the series against each other this year. I think it's going to be a cracking game, though. There's no doubt about it. And thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV, this is NEAFL TV. This is a round 11 clash between Aspley and Sydney University. A bit of an anticlimax there to get us going, though, as we'll have the ball brought back and will be thrown up instead. Big Jake Spencer and Tagliabue to get underway. Sirakoski just palming it into his own path there, unable to take it with him. The students win it. Sirakoski got it to the big boy and Tagliabue inside forward 50, and well done by Liam Dawson. He's been a good recruit from the Brisbane Lions. A good kick there, finds Templeton. Likewise, come from Noosa last year, where he's been very dominant in that competition. That kick wasn't a dominant one because he just gave it up. Coming through now is Goulden for the students, up towards Davies, and he gets a nice mark to start with. And a good piece of work. He kicked 5 in the corresponding game, Bob, and he has a chance to open scoring here this afternoon.
Yeah, good pair of dukes on him, hasn't he? Tristan Davies, boy from Williamstown in the VFL. Just joined the students, as you said, this year, and 5 in his first game, so he is a target up there for him.
So Tristan Davies, I should say. I was looking at my notes. 16 disposals in that round 1 fixture. 5 goals, 2 he kicked. Just across the face. And open scoring, but only with a minor. Probably disappointing. Gee, the students would have been all cock-a-hoop if they'd got that one, Bob.
Yeah, look, a poor turnover there from Templeton. Usually very good by foot, but he turned that one over. And Goulden, very good long kick.
So as per the usual, the students, Aspley bring it back in. It was Jackson Allen. Stevenson tries to get it off to the big boy in Robertson, and he couldn't handle it, and the ball in dispute. Murphy, Henderson, now pushing it on further forward was Giles, and then Off a bit further to Stackelberg. The students might mop this up, although a bit of a confusion. Allows Gowers to go for the ball. Well done there by Bartholomeus. And then Robertson. And then coming away was Veal. And that's not a bad kick. Can't quite find his target there in Morrison, but the students will take it away anyway. Bartholomeus through the middle of Voxson. Gives it to Stevenson. Has room to move. Looking for a long target, and they have one open. That was Nick Foster. That was a good transition of play. Looked a little bit shaky down back, but once they got moving their way, it was very efficient.
Yeah, no, very good by foot, wasn't it? And they had players behind the footy ready to mop up, and when they got under pressure back there in their back half, they were quick to manoeuvre it on that far side, and quick movement.
And that's a bad miss from Foster. Right in front, 25 out, no real pressure. Trying to kick the first goal of the game. So 2 points it is to Aspley. To Sydney University. Aspley lucky to get away with a couple. Jackson Allen, little piercing ball, finds James Ives. He was good in the last clash, 30 disposals for him. Always a good workhorse. And as soon as I give a bloke a rap, that's twice today, they've turned the ball over. On this occasion, Ives kicked it out of bounds on the full. Austin Lucy hoists it high. Davies goes very high, unable to bring it down. You could see him leap at the ball. Had the run of it. That could have been anything, Bob.
Well, he needs some oxygen after getting up that high. That was a big leap by Tristan Davies, and nearly held it too. It was a good attempt.
He always had it on the chest. Spencer, just a bit of strength there. Aspley, Templeton. Now they work it out. Comes back with Ives. Not a great kick, but still finds Jono Freeman. Ball in the middle. Stackelberg. Honoured Freeman with a nice lead and good hands. 1-on-1, Castledine, inside forward 50. Well done there by Robertson. Just mopping it up, just edged Castledine under the footy. But the kick wasn't a great one. And it's Hayden. Just gives it back inside. Murphy, that was up before acceptances, so it'll be a free kick the students' way. You just need to bring it to ground rather than go for broke, essentially.
Yeah, he didn't really give him much of a chance, though, did he, Hayden, with that kick in? He's small forward against 3 defenders, had really no chance.
Goulden, just can't quite find his target there. So gives Aspley a bit of a chance to come through. Castledine feeds a tough one out. Gowers couldn't take it. Ives, well done under pressure. That's Giles, and that kick should have been swallowed by the defence, but wasn't. Stackelberg now to Nellis, and he just pulls the kick. He had a little bit more time there. And the pressure of the contest just showing is a little bit nerves getting the better of a few. First score for Aspley, only a minor though, 2-1.
Yeah, both teams had gettable goals there, haven't they? Certainly opportunities are going to have to be taken. Whoever takes them will get on top.
So Goulden from the restart. Goes long, looking for a big target. Davies just couldn't take it. Jackson Allen to Matty Payne. He'll rack him up, as does this man. Jackson Allen, generally good by foot, and that's no exception. Finds Nellis, so he might be able to atone for that miss, although this is a much harder opportunity.
They just seem to do it easier when they have that snap from the side, though, don't they?
It's around the corner, and started it too far out there and couldn't bring it back enough, so across the face it goes. So scores are level, 2 apiece.
Yeah, good work, Jackson Allen, wasn't it? He gave the handball initially, got it back, and a beautiful pass to Nellis.
Now Stern is trying to break up play. Tagliabue just pushes his opposition player under the ball in Spencer, but couldn't get the handball away nicely. It'll go back inside, forward 50. Stackelberg has it. And it's just lowering the eyes nicely. Just trying to pick up that player. Might have been Jordan Arnold. What do you give this one for Stackelberg? Of course, the boy from Sandgate.
Well, he kicked the ball well on his first mark and kicked down here across half back, so his confidence levels will be up.
Kicks it from right on the 50-metre arc, and Bob Batty just calls it nicely. A very good conveyance of the football. And Connor Stackelberg opens proceedings, at least on the goal sheet today. So Aspley draw first blood, 1-8. The students, Sydney University, they are 2 points.
Yeah, missed opportunities by the students with 2 easy shots at goal, I thought, but or one simple one from Foster. But Nellis did the same, and the shackles have been broken with a lovely kick there from the boy from Sandgate and Aspley Junior. He's been a good player for them, playing that hit-up role at centre-half forward.
So change in the ruck here. Cameron Williams comes in to the ruck to take on the big boy, Jake Spencer. It's a bit of bounce in the middle. Spencer just fists it forward his way. Giles had the run of it. Castledine tries to come through. Giles, though, wrapped up by Goulden. And a little bit of angst in the contest. A real clear winner of that ruck contest. Sydney just get it forward. Stewart. Arnold copped a high one, so he'll win the free kick. There's Jackson Allen running from him. Not to be, so at half back. And chipping ball doesn't get the required distance, so through the chain of hands. That was to Gross, to Murphy. Goes, just skirts the boundary line, gets it down. Jackson Allen just grabbed as he kicked it. Good fist there from the defence. And the ball harmlessly out of play. The pressure around the contest, given the confines of Voxson Oval here, is going to be important in the way the pressure acts. And Aspley, obviously, is a home side. They know a fair bit about it.
No doubt, Kanga, and clean hands, very important down low.
Cameron Williams just tries to break the tackle of Murphy after working to the front of Spencer. Stalemate. Putting up a good contest. Emerging with it was Bailey Stewart. And just a nice ball. Finds Morrison. Now just shows a clean pair of heels through the middle of Voxon. And that's a nice kick to Davies. Led hard. Doug Lawrence is going to have a fair job on him today if he's got that much space to work in. Davies goes short. Finds a target. And well done. There was a nice kick and found Darcy Cordell.
Good use of the footy from the students. Very good work there from Tom Morrison. I just like the way, Harry Morrison, I should say. Just like the way he moves.
Tom was calling the shots. And in essence, off the field. And Harry was calling them on the field. That kick is a very good one from Cordell. And that's the answer for Sydney University. So scores locked back up, 1-2 apiece. We've played 10 1/4 minutes or 10 1/2 minutes of this first quarter. And Sydney University, they've looked dangerous when they've gone forward. But we know Aspley, if they get on a bit of a roll, they can really take advantage on their home deck.
Yeah, well, both teams have got good key targets down there, haven't they? Like Freeman and Nellis for Aspley, and the big fella Davies up there, and a ground level young Stern. So, look, they're certainly that was good ball movement and good finish by Cordell. He's NEAFL debut this year and really looks a player, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. So early in the early stages. Good bounce again. Williams. Quick kick away from Gowers. Doesn't go too far. Williams just attacked it hard. Copped a good contact. So good dedication there. Well done there by Tholomaeus. Just worked in there. Craven, he was dispossessed. Trying to bust through. On that occasion, it was Foster. Gross, who ripped off the ball. That's almost a free kick if it wasn't holding the ball. Kick smothered. I'll go over the boundary line. Looks very willing.
Yeah, real arm wrestle, isn't it? Both these teams realise just how important this contest is today here at Voxson Oval.
Back in. Stevenson. just gets a quick kick away. Does it nicely in the finish. Foster and Gross come out to meet it. That was a bit of a push on Gross, but not to be. Player down. And he has not moved.
26, he's sitting in the back.
And I didn't quite catch what happened there, Bob. Did you see that?
To me, it looked as though Ben Wellis pushed Gavin Gross towards the oncoming player, and he might have just got his hip on the way through or something, but certainly he has not moved.
That's Nick Foster. If I through the binoculars, it looks like number 11, which is Nick.
Yeah, definitely Nick Foster on the ground. But yeah, look, I think it was just accidental contact because Gross was nowhere near him until Ben Wellis actually gave him a real shove towards the footy, and I think he might have just clipped his hip. He's certainly not looking too good.
No, he's conscious, sitting up at least, but even though he hasn't got to his feet, he just looks very wobbly, fair to say. So no doubt he won't be taking any further part in the game. He'll no doubt do a concussion test, and you'd suggest that that will not be real positive in terms of his involvement in any part of the game after this. Ball's out of play, so the umpire certainly didn't see anything untoward. We'll get back underway again. Spencer takes front spot. And there, on that occasion, coming through was Templeton, but couldn't get anything effective away. Tagliabue, Sirakoski, that's Will. A couple of them out there today. Tackled by Cole, just holding the ball inside forward 50. So they're down a man on the bench. A warm day here today too. I think we've got about 26, 27. Gowers gets the clearance over the top. Nellis just tried to edge one under and then gets back and then handballs the ball. Unable to take it with him was Coughlin. Hiscox, he's wrapped up. Just plenty of players around the contest. Sirakoski against Stevenson. They might get out here. And then the kick came from Andrew Sirakoski right to centre half forward, but Jackson Allen is there just in front of Cordell. And that's 50 metres where Eddie Cole just went in the protected area, it looks like. So that'll take Jackson Allen within kicking distance, you'd suggest.
Yeah, he's a beautiful kick of the footy. If he was on the run, you'd back him for sure from that distance.
Well, it's only come to...
it's a 40 metre.
Yeah.
No, wouldn't back him at all, even on the run from there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a little bit closer, admittedly. He gives it a fair rev down towards the goals anyway. Right to the goal line. Robertson was there. Happy to usher it over. So Aspley take the lead 139 to 128. Veal brings it back in. Long kick. And a good mark there by Lawrence. That'll give him a bit of confidence up against Tristan Davies. On that familiar left foot. And towards the pocket, Freeman was the target. Robertson just happy to see it over the line.
Yeah, that's the one. They just got to hit those targets going forward, don't they? It was he kicked to space, and Freeman was in the vicinity, and Tom Jeffrey, the first gamer, or first game for Aspley anyway, son of Nick, grandson of Brian. Great to see him having a run today.
Payne dispossessed, and then he just grabs it again. It bounced up back into his arms, and umpire said that's going nowhere. Ruckman do it again. Freeman gets it down. Payne round the corner. Front spot was Reinhardt. Just thumped it though. Stevenson, never reliable. Just gets it to ground. Well done there by the big boy in Williams. Just made a mess of the handball though. Bartholomeus and Veal now under pressure. Emerging. Well done there by Templeton. Payne into the path of Stackelberg. Round the corner it goes. Dangerous spot. At the back is Murphy. Hiscock just tries to clear the area. Well, on there by Barkley, Reinhardt. They might come away. The ball stays in, so well done there to Hiscock. That kick's not a good one, though. That was Hayden funneling the ball back, and it's a free kick going Aspley's way. Go to Jasper Craven.
Had a good season for the Hornets, hasn't he, Jasper Craven?
Gives it to Dawson. Just came off the bench. Very deep ball. Nellis couldn't quite handle it and then just tried to punch it in the vicinity of Freeman and only managed to get it out of bounds instead. Dangerous spot as far as Aspley is concerned. They can see what they can do. Murphy breaks one and then just ripped off the ball. And then player ripped off the ball without it. And that was Jordan Arnold. So he can go back and have a shot at goal. And Crockmore was the offender on that occasion.
Is it Hayden? Yeah.
Yep. Jordan Hayden.
Jaden Hayden from Glenorchy.
Not sure how he liked this heat. A bit different to the Tasmanian winters, the Queensland winters, but he's been here 12 months now at least, and that's a nice kick off the boot, just slides inside the right-hand goalpost. It's a second one for Aspley, and just pushes them out all of a sudden to a 7-point lead. And they probably haven't looked as clean as what Sydney Uni have, but ultimately it comes down to what you do on the scoreboard.
Yeah, look, I think you're right. I think Sydney Uni in space have been, when they've got a bit of room to manoeuvre the footy and kick long to leading players. But just around the footy and at the contest, Aspley seem to have just a few more numbers, I reckon. They're just getting the contested footy win at arm wrestle at this stage, in my opinion. But very early days yet.
So just looking down the bench, and Tommy Morrison, the coach of Sydney Uni, just giving Nick Foster a bit of a pat there. He's sitting on a seat. Being a little dazed, to be fair. And there by Tagliabue, although Stewart's kick was smothered there by Giles. So well done there by Giles. Just follow-up efforts. Laid the tackle and brought about the stoppage on Veal. Spencer took front spot. Tagliabue's got a bit of a reach there. Castledine dispossessed by Goulden. Couldn't do anything effective with it though. Bartholomeus just kicked it straight to Ives, who in turn gets it down deep inside forward 50. Getting back there was Carroll. It's it off to Lucy. It's a nice kick from Lucy, and that finds Andrew Sierakowski. Very deliberate kick and finds Bartholomeus. Chipping ball, Hiscox. He likes to run. It's the ball in space. Big fist came from Lawrence. And there by Crockmore, just batted the ball down. With the ball there is Morrison. Puts it in the path of Stern, but the ball just runs in front of him and through for a behind. So good build-up again, but just no grand result.
Yeah, just got to start taking a couple of those opportunities. There's a nice play from Morrison, but just missed his target.
A very good kick finds Lawrence. And a short ball. Finds Stackelberg. Just hits up at the ball very well, Stackelberg, as Gowers has the ball. Down the line, although it's touched off the boot, you would have heard it in the effects mics there. Stackelberg gets it again, so he followed it up and finds Jono Freeman. And knowing Jono, I was going to say he'd take a shot at goal, but he did have a free man. And it was Giles in the pocket. This puts him on a tighter angle, but distance won't be the issue.
Yeah, pair of Jonos combining there. And yeah, you would have thought Freeman might have had a shot from there, but he's given Giles every opportunity to kick their third.
45-degree angle and not a problem. Ran straight into Freeman as soon as it left the boot because he knew it was on target. 3 for Aspley. They move to 3-3-21. Sydney Uni 1-3-9. Two straight goals is the margin, and we have played 22 minutes of this first quarter.
Yeah, just look a little bit more dangerous up forward, don't they? He's got a big job, young Carroll, playing on Jonathan Freeman. He's giving away a few inches there and a couple of kgs, but he's a good, honest trier. And Michael Carroll, solid key defender through the Swans Academy, but he's got his hands full today on Jono Freeman, who kicked, nearly 40 goals last year at this level.
Dive into my stats here in a minute, Bob, and I'll tell you how many goals Jono Freeman kicked. Testing me. Thought you were the special comments man, so you should have all this info. Beautiful bounce in the middle. Goes Aspley's way, but first there is Bailey Stewart Stevenson. He feeds it back. They'll come away, Bartholomeus. And there, well done there by Stern. Couldn't take it.
Got that moustache working very nicely, John O'Giles now, hasn't he? He's really proud of that one, I think.
Well, Jono Freeman, 37 goals last year. Spencer just tapped it down, but ended up getting in the path of Tagliabue, although coming away there was Hayden Payne. He was just knocked out of his hand, but got it off to Craven, who got off to Hayden once again. Forward 50, Coughlin comes out to meet it, tackled immediately. Gowers, Coughlin can't take it first time, but gets it a go. Again, Gowers has his kick smothered. Robertson, not sure where to go, so just belts it out of the way. Lawrence, straight down to Spencer, and they'll come away here. Dawson, turning on the left. The kick wasn't as accurate as it needed to be. Hiscock mops it up. The chipping ball is a nice one, finds Morrison. Off a couple of steps, gets it out towards Stern.
That's the one he was looking for in the square about 2 minutes earlier, was that kick towards Stern. He's very elusive, Josh Stern, through the Pennant Hills Junior Footy Club and Swans Academy, and he loves kicking a goal. And this is not out of his range. Here is a chance.
Well, if he's going back to take a shot, obviously he has some belief. About 48 metres, tight angle, far side of Voxson. Looks on target and just touched by the gigantic reach of Jake Spencer. He netted all 203 centimetres plus the arms, the wingspan to get up there. So the margin now 11 points. Gross kicks it in. Lawrence takes it. They're dangerous from that full back position when they got Jackson Allen and Gavin Gross, who can very good kicks. Lawrence. Freeman couldn't take it. And he takes the ball. Sierakowski tackles him. And that's holding the ball. So we'll go the way of Andrew Sierakowski. Just didn't dispose effectively of it. Not sure where to go. The younger brother of Will. He's back and finds Carroll. And just pushing back to try and open some space up. Reinhardt. Back to Carroll. I need somebody to come up to the ball here.
Here he comes.
There it is there. Although, will he get there? Williams, good pick up from the big man. The handball, he couldn't quite get enough on it. Payne could. And the chipping ball inside finds James Nellis. Just didn't have enough numbers pushing up towards the ball to hit up the target to give enough options, but the pressure came from the Aspley forward line as everybody sort of pushed back over the back from Sydney Uni.
Yeah, they've got to hit those targets coming out of defence or they're going to be in trouble.
James Nellis on NEAFL TV. We're right behind this one. And he hangs it out to the left. And again, probably a very gettable goal for a player of James Nellis's ability. Instead, the margin goes back to an even 2 goals.
Yeah, he's had a few chances already. Missed 2 shots and dropped the chest mark in near the goal square. So had opportunities in this first quarter, Nellis.
3 behinds. Jackson Allen with a big spoil. Lucy, at the end of it. Goulden gave the handball, but Bartholomeus, his teammate, was forced to spoil. Getting in the way there was the young fella in Jeffrey. Spencer takes it out of the ruck. Coughlin just tried to smother the ball. And coming away there, Robertson goes to the far side. Stern, and also just doing better than him was Jordan Arnold. Half forward. Little ball finds Gowers. Plenty of players pushing back now. Gives it to Gross, and he loads them up as he likes to do. Freeman had the ride, couldn't take it. Barkley to Lucy. Indiscriminate kick. Henderson couldn't handle the half volley. The ball just escapes his grasp, and over the boundary line it goes. Pretty close to quarter time, you'd suspect. Just 4 goals in this first quarter. 28 minutes nearly gone. Spencer, front spot, looking for Payne. Hiscock goes off the ground. Uni's way. Back there is Dawson. Just pulled his kick, and I thought he was going to do it nicely, although Ives couldn't take it. Stern, he was just dispossessed at the last moment. Right near the boundary line, over it flows. Had the better of it, Aspley.
Certainly have had the better players on the ground so far. They're just winning contested footy better and looking more dangerous up forward.
Spencer again. Quick kick from Bartholomeus, right in the middle of Voxson. Dawson held his spot, but the students come away with it. Bartholomeus again. Gross with the spoil. Getting back there was Corvo. Under pressure from Davies. And that kick doesn't go where he wanted it to. Finds Crockmull. So Monty. Down the line it comes. Gross had front spot and run of it and took it easily in the finish. Not the type of forward entry you'd like as the coach Tommy Morrison for Uni you'd like. Now at the far side now Aspley. Payne has it, got it from Templeton. Running for him is Craven. Has a man over the top. It's a big boy in Spencer. He was looking to hand it off, but not to be. The kick inside forward 50. Couldn't find Freeman. Barkley. Bartholomeus. Just coming away here, and it'll end up with Sirakoski. That was Will. Now the run. On that occasion from Cole, and right up inside forward 50. That's a better entry. It was a contested ball, but he's very good in the air and the one-on-one, and that's Tristan Davies.
Yeah, some good work there. Good link play, wasn't it? Straight out of defence from the students, and on the end of it, I think it was Edward Cole that kicked it in. A lovely kick and had front position. Davies, and should kick this one for the students.
Missed his first one. Tougher position. And that one slides in. So the first one for Davies. And that puts the margin back to 1 straight goal. 30 minutes gone in this first quarter. Sydney University moved to 2-4-16. Aspley 3-4-22. And it has been an arm wrestle, Bob, but said Aspley have had the better of it. But the students look dangerous every time they go forward.
Yeah, give them a bit of space and a little bit of room, and they'll hurt you by foot, and that's what they did there. They ran the ball out well from defence, and they've got some really quick players, haven't they? Hiscox, Lucy, Goulden. They've got a lot of quick running players, and if they've given a lot of space, that's what they can do, really hurt you.
So the margin, 1 straight kick. Bring the ball back. We'll do it all again. Spencer went early, went high, and was good enough to get it. And right on quarter time, Sydney Uni got that goal. That will not please the Aspley coach, Daniel Webster, but it will the University coach, Tom Morrison. They are down a player. Nick Foster getting knocked out, I'd suggest. I think he was unconscious, but he's sitting up and responsive now, although he's a little bit wobbly. But it is Aspley that took the honours in the first quarter, 3-2-22. Oh, sorry, 3-4-22. Sydney University 2-4-16. How did you see that first quarter, Bob?
Yeah, looked very even, wasn't it? I think Aspley certainly had the better of it, probably a 55-45, you would say at this stage. They've had more contested footy. They've had players around the footy that's really working hard and doing the little things. The students have just hanging in there. They've had chances to kick goals and missed a couple of probably easy ones that probably could have had them nearly level. So look, a good opening. Both teams' coaches got a little bit to work with, and yeah, look, I just like the drill at the moment in the middle with the big fella, Jake Spencer. He's got a big job, hasn't he, against Sam Taglia Blue and also Cameron Williams. So they're matching pretty well in there. I thought that Aspley might have a sort of an advantage in that area, but that's certainly not the case in what we've seen in the first quarter. So good, even contest, Kanga.
A lot of the team stats are very even, but individual stats, Matty Payne's had 8 first quarter disposals, 3 inside 50s. Connor Stackelberg, he had 7, 3 marks and a couple of inside 50s and a goal, and Jordan Hayden 6 for the Hornets, while for Sydney University, Bartholomeus, he's had 8 disposals in that first quarter. He's been very good. Harry Morrison had 6 along with Stevenson, and then down to Goulden and Veal, and also Bailey Stewart with 5. We might take a break, catch our breath as the players do likewise, and be back here at Voxson Oval for the commencement of the second quarter shortly. This is NEAFL TV. Thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. Welcome back to Voxson Oval at quarter time here in the game. This round 11 clash between the Aspley Hornets and Sydney University. It is the home side. Aspley 3-4-22, leading Sydney Uni 2-4-16. Bob Batty joining myself, Mark Kennedy. Bob, it was an entertaining first quarter. If not, it was a bit of an arm wrestle.
Yeah, but definitely an arm wrestle. You can tell the stakes are high today for both these teams, and let's hope it stays that way with a good contest.
Spencer got it down to Payne at the start, but he was manhandled very quickly. And there by the students, they're just keeping the ball in the area. It was Morrison laying a tackle. Then it's just furried forward. Dawson emerges with the ball for Aspley, though. Gets it off to Gowers, then to Craven. They've got a little bit of the run here. That was Arnold. Kick is high up towards Ives. Barkley spoils it, but Ives does well. Gets it down. And then inside forward 50, and that's a good mark to James Nellis in front of Ned Reinhardt. Good contested one-on-one mark.
Yeah, very good mark from Nellis. And look, this is probably his hardest kick, and he'll probably go back and slam this one through. But good work, James Ives, a contested footy out there on the wing, and got his kick in quickly, and Nellis took a good mark.
He's going to kick this all of 50, James Nellis. Low, hard, it's right to the line, it's got there. That's why you're the guru. Bob Batty called it. He said he'll probably kick this one. He kicked 3 points in the first quarter, James Nellis, so he's hit the scoreboard in a far more fashionable way for the Aspley Hornets and gets them off to a nice start to this second quarter. They move to 4-4-28. Sydney Uni, 2-4-16. Two goals the margin.
Yeah, great kick, wasn't it? Just probably when he's further out, he probably doesn't think about the goals as much and just kicks through the footy a little bit better. And you could see that with that setup, the way he ran in there, he was really focused and lovely kick at goal. And he needed that one to get his confidence back.
In and out of the Aspley side, I think he's been really struggling with injuries, getting his body right as we're underway again. Tagliabue gets that one down, trying to crash through. Was the Aspley player, couldn't take it with him. Payne ends up with the ball. Well, chipping one. Finds Stackelberg, although he couldn't quite handle it in the finish. Out on the half-forward flank out of side. It's tied up under a few. And the umpire will come and ball it up. Ruckman engage early. Tagliabue gets the better of it, but Aspley will come away with it yet again. Stern just getting involved. Veal as well. Bartholomeus just gets it forward. And Morrison was just happy to have the ball over the line. Start again, out of wing. What do you make of the ruck contest so far, Bob?
Yeah, look, Spencer just looking a bit more dangerous at present with his handballs, isn't he? And effectiveness around the stoppages.
There he is on hands and knees after that ruck stoppage. He won't be happy. Giving the umpire a bit of advice, no doubt. Tagliabue and Spencer do battle again. Give it to the former. Payne for Aspley. Feeds out Templeton, has his handball smothered. So ball it at ground level. Tagliabue does well, although, again, can't quite find Stevenson. Now he does. He had to dispose of Payne. Stern feeds the ball up, but only feeds it off to Templeton. Little chipping ball, misses Stackelberg. Ball inside forward 50, Barkley. Just under pressure. They're going to have to work hard here, the students. Ives coming through. Is it in the back? No. The umpire says that is fair game as Bailey Stewart lays the tackle and Ives gets up with a wry smile. Spencer takes front spot. Tagliabue, though. Aspley really tightened up around those clearances. Even if Tagliabue's winning them, there seems to be Aspley who having the better of the struggle. Tagliabue again. And there's Aspley. They come away again. And they're Hampton and Coughlin combined, but not effectively. The big boy Tagliabue at ground level. The ball wrapped up there, so Aspley just maintaining the rage in and around the contest, Bob.
Yeah, just got to be a little bit cleaner with their hands, don't they? And hit it to someone with a bit of leg speed.
Big Spencer plays the rover towards Nellis, has it punched away from him on this occasion. Robinson handballs it and then goes after it again. Nellis picks up, spins out of trouble, but it was over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw in. He's looked dangerous, James Nellis, today, hasn't he? Already 4 shots on goal, and we've barely played 5 minutes of this second quarter.
Yeah, look, he's a quality forward, isn't he, at NEAFL level? He's proven that over the years and just needs to get that body right, as you said, Kanga.
Spencer disposes of Tagliabue, and illegally, says the umpire, so it'll be the big boy from Sydney University who'll win the free kick.
Seemed a delayed whistle, that one, didn't it? Seemed to be well after the contest.
Umpires had to think about it, but I think it was the right decision. Tagliabue gets it up. Dawson flies. Knocked off his feet. Gowers. Well done. Feeds it out. Craven finds a way through. Kicks it deep. Contests again. And the ball was over the line, so there was a bit of panic there from the students, but Hampton tried to save it, couldn't do so. So a point to Aspley. Lead out to 13 points now. Seem to be under more pressure in this quarter. The students. Stevenson. And that's a very good mark there. He was out of position, Banuelos, but did well. The kick didn't do quite as well over the top of Morrison. Dawson forced to do it at ground level. Gives it back to Jackson Allen. A nice kick. Finds Templeton. Just traverses Voxson. Chipping ball. Hayden had a chipping ball. Stackelberg couldn't quite handle it. Barkley feeds it out. Stevenson now. Over the back. Davies has a run of it. Lawrence is right there and just got a fist in there as the ball was bobbling around, and he was happy just to kill it over the boundary line. Just, as he pivoted, seemed to lose that last step, Davies, because I thought for a moment he would have clutched that.
Yeah, good effort there from Doug Lawrence to get a hand in and get it out of bounds.
Had a couple of good efforts there after Davies has showed a couple of nice early pieces of work. Williams in the ruck. Coming through there is Stewart, and he's tackled. He just spun out of trouble, and then the cavalry arrived for the Hornets to save the day. It's Gavin Gross. Wins a free kick. Morrison tackles, but he gets the handball off to Dawson. Ball off to ground, and it was Hiscox. He couldn't quite catch it before it went over the line.
Just experience with their kicking. Jackson Allen, a beautiful kick out of defence for the Hornets, and Lewis Stevenson. You just see their experience to the fore, those kicks.
Spencer puts it in the path of Payne. Ives just pivots, gives it back to Payne, who just puts it in to the benefit of Castledine. Couldn't quite take the mark, and now he's wrapped up as they come through, although he cops a high tackle. Where's the headband, just to illustrate the fact that he's got a head up there. The ball inside forward 50. Freeman couldn't come down with it. Reinhardt, he can mop it up for the students. Gives it, albeit an errant handball, in the path of Barkley. Now to Hiscox. He pushes forward and back very well, but that kick is not a good one. Jackson Allen got in the way. And then the handball up from Henderson. Couldn't find Allen again over the boundary line.
He's got to start grabbing it one clutch, doesn't he, John O'Freeman? He's had 2 or 3 of those now where he's bobbled it around the hands. You've got to just take them in one grab.
On there by Williams. Putting a bit of body on the big boy Spencer. Crockmall just goes at it a couple of times. Billy Murphy's there applying the pressure. Ball just feeds out. A bit of tunnel ball. Ends up with Allen. Got it from Ives over the back, and just judging it a little bit better was the big boy from Noosa, the former Brisbane Lion, John O'Freeman.
Lovely kick again, wasn't it, from Jackson Allen? Just low and hard. It was like a spear going straight towards Michael Carroll there, and he thought he had it, but it was over the back. Well judged, John O'Freeman.
There should be regulation, you'd think, for a forward. John O'Freeman here comes in 30 metres out and straight over the goal umpire's hat. First for John O'Freeman. And that extends the lead out for Aspley to 19 points. Nearly 10 minutes gone in this second quarter. And just some worrying signs for Sydney University, but some really pleasing ones for Aspley.
Yeah, that forward structure looks more dangerous, doesn't it? They've got Stackelberg leading at the footy, Nellis the same, and you've got Freeman up in the square, and you've got little Murphy underneath their feet that can really do some damage as well. So they've got a good little structure there, and that's a worry for the students back there. I'm sure that they'd rather the ball down the other end. They need to start winning the ball at the contest.
So 19 points after that Jono Freeman goal. Bounce in the middle again. Williams down. Likes what he's done when he's been on the ground. He and Tagliabue are really taking it up to Spencer. And he comes through, the big man. Williams through the legs of Cole. Banuelos. Stevenson. It's down the line. Davies, and that's a very nice mark indeed. He knew he was outpointed in terms of where the drop zone is, but he just really initiated contact on Doug Lawrence.
Great use of the body, wasn't it? It's Hawkins-like, isn't it, at Geelong? He does that beautifully, using the body. Very tough kick, but confidence levels are pretty good with this kid. He could probably slot this one.
Comes in. To kick it about 46 metres. Gives it plenty, and it just fades to the near side. So the margin back to 18 points, 3 straight kicks. As Jackson Allen goes back to retrieve. Not sure where to go, so he decides to go out to the outer side. Loads it up. Big contest. It was Goulden there, but at the foot of the pack there was Murphy. He fell over, though. They still might come away with it. No. It's the students going to come away. Sierakowski, that was Will. Couldn't quite get anything effective away, and Aspley just mopping it up at the back here at the moment, although that handball just didn't quite work. A little high one on Stern. Almost a professional free kick there from Ives just to hold the play up as Josh Stern will come away with the ball.
Yeah, coach wouldn't be happy with Isaac Corvo. They're just handballing blind back into a dangerous spot. So, good, smart player, Stern. He'll find someone here.
Just puts it in the hole. Oh, Davies just couldn't quite handle it in the finish. It was just through the fingertips. Ives. Hayden. Off to the young fellow in Jeffrey. And then, well done there by Reinhardt. Just beats Freeman one-on-one and then gets the back ball going his way. Back inside forward 50 over the top of Jackson Allen and Tristan Davies. They escorted over the boundary line.
Yeah, good work there, Reinhardt. Looks like he's got the job now. Nellis, Carroll's gone on to Nellis and Reinhardt gone on to Freeman.
Yeah, I like that matchup better personally. Morrison, he's dispossessed. Not sure what he was looking for. Ball under plenty. Umpire will ball it up. A goal for the students would be very handy. That's Bartholomeus. He just roved the Spencer hit out. But he couldn't drag it back far enough. Out of bounds on the full it was.
Can find the footy, can't he? Bartholomeus. He brings his own footy every time he plays. 30 plus possessions most weeks.
That's 9 disposals so far for him. Stevenson leads the charge with 10. So Gross kicks it back in. One there by Tagliabue. Just had front spot on Big Freeman, although he kicks it into Freeman's face. Inside forward 50 again. Well done there by Craven. Nice hands. Just releases Gross, who goes on his unnatural left. There by the big boy in... I was going to say well done, but he was holding the ball. He didn't quite get it away effectively, Tommy Jeffrey. Lucy wins the free kick. And put it back inside forward 50. Unable to take it there was Williams. And their way was Corvo. Nothing effective though, so it's still inside that forward 50. Sierakowski on his favoured left. But across the face it goes. The last couple of minutes, they've just kept the ball in the area, just haven't been able to convert.
Yeah, just been defensive-wise, Aspley just got to be a bit cleaner with their hands coming out and by foot.
17 points of difference. Breeze just going the students' way. Hampton just does well to evade, gives it back to Dawson. On chipping ball and just spoiling Arnold. Was Cole. So be happy to keep it up this end of the ground. Tagliabue does well, although against Nellis that time. Bartholomeus, just indiscriminate kick inside forward 50, and he finds Corvo, just didn't kick it to the advantage of his teammate and Harry Morrison. Ball to the outer side. Lucy worked under the ball. And then Jeffrey just got the slipper on it, gets it out to the outer wing now. Plenty of players converge on the pill. It'll be balled up instead by the umpire. Quickly back in. Nellis having a stint in the ruck, giving Spencer a bit of a rest. Bartholomeus dispossessed, so Ives wins the free kick. Well done to him. Not as big as some of the midfielders, but does a good job week in, week out, James Ives. Long kick, looking for Freeman. Good set of jukes in front. Still 55 from goal. Look for the target. Chipping ball. Only finds the boundary line out of bounds on the full. That's poor disposal.
Yeah, just got to be better than that, Jono Freeman. His experiences he's had. Got to use the ball a bit better, just chip it. Even a 10, 20 metre chip sideways to get that ball, keep it in the forward line.
Chipping ball finds Bartholomeus. Likewise to Veal. Looking for Cordell, where there was Jackson Allen, just taps it forward and says, run onto it, Coley. And then he gets it back anyway, Cordell. Takes a bounce, approaches forward 50, and that is not a good kick because it was straight to Gavin Gross. Did not give the big boy Williams a hope at all.
Well called, Kanga. He didn't give him a chance in Hades' hell there, and Aspley have now got the ball back out of their defensive area.
Thought he was the forward. Sierakowski dispossessed. Gowers gets it going forward. On his bike is Ives. Couple of bounces. Inside forward 50 at the back, Freeman. It was a poor disposal up one end, and it's caused what quite possibly I think will be a goal down the other. 12-point turnaround.
Yeah, no, it was good work out here by Cordell, wasn't it, initially to win the contest. But, yeah, poor kick when he's had the opportunity. And now Jono Freeman, he's starting to juke him, isn't he? He's taken 3 in a row now, and this should be another goal to the Hornets.
Ever since you said he's got to clunk him. Well, he's clunked a couple, but he's clunked that one into the goalpost. So no joy there. That was a very gettable shot, I would think, and a let off for the students. Margin back out to 18 points, 3 straight goals.
Well, you know, just a poor kick over there on that boundary where he's kicked it out on the full, and then a miss from there. Got to be better than that, Jono.
Oh, Goulden, he's had his kick smothered twice, and this second one might hurt. Ives now to Murphy. Breaks a tackle. Forced to give a handball. Jeffrey round the corner. That's his first. And Aspley colours, and the boys get to him. Well done there to Tom Jeffrey. Big Nick will be very happy, his father. And Big Brian, his grandfather, will be excited as well. It's Aspley 6. They move to 6-6-42. Sydney Uni 2-6-18. Well done.
Yeah, good work, Tom Jeffrey. As you said, he's probably played a bit of NEAFL footy for the Lions through their academy program. First game in Aspley colours, and as you said, the Morningside faithful, Brian and Nick Jeffrey, would be very happy with writing that goal next to his name in the scorebook. But poor defence again. Adam Goulden, he's a lot of experience, and twice now his kicks or handballs have been smothered when they've been free.
Yeah, 2 in a row. Player of his experience. He'll be very disappointed with that, and I noticed Callum Castledine letting him know all about it. Spencer. Ives. He's playing a bit of a game today. It's off to Giles. And that kick wasn't his best effort and gets it to Barkley. So turnover. James Ives, 3 clearances, 12 disposals already. Banuelos comes through. Ives, what wonderful courage. Wonderful courage there from both players attacking the ball. Just wrapped Ives up just a second ago. And there he is doing the special things again.
Oh, well, that was amazing, wasn't it? He contorted his body in mid-air and landed. I don't know how he stuck the landing, but that was a mark of the day for sure, that one.
Ball to half forward. Bailey Stewart, quick kick. Gross just gets the big fist on it. Giles just pushes it down in path of Henderson, who in turn gets it to Craven. Craven, long ball. Big Spencer's there. Just use his body, the big boy. And he can go back and shoot. And often we see him resting up forward. And often we see him kicking at goal.
Just getting the ball in broken play, aren't they? When the ball's spoilt and hits the ground, it's normally a Hornets player that comes in and wins the footy.
So all 203 centimetres of him comes in. It's a long way from the hand to the foot. And he couldn't do it effectively. So 1 point it is. Margin 25 points.
Yeah, could have set themselves up with a 6-goal lead here. A couple of easy shots missed there from the Hornets. So Daniel won't be very happy with the finishing work of the two big fellas.
Stewart and Stern just messing around with it in the back half. Forced to go back down the line. Big fly there. And that was from Corvo. And he worked at ground level as well. Tries to come through. Big solid body for a young fellow. Kicks it inside forward 50. Stackelberg. He's infringed by Lucy. Just realised he wasn't quite at the drop of the ball and did anything he can to impact the contest, but gave away the free kick.
Yeah, trying to use all that experience that he's had, Austin Lucy, to try and get that ball to ground, but infringed in the eyes of the umpire. And Stackelberg has been a good contributor for the Hornets today. He's led up at the footy and kicked the ball well, so his confidence levels will be high. So I'll put the Moz right on him here.
You've picked him well so far. Until then. I think he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. And Aspley just have really wasted some opportunities in this quarter. Says they've only kicked 3 goals, but gee whiz, they probably should have kicked 5 or 6 goals. Davies went high and then went at it at ground level. Unfortunately, he's kicked it back in the middle, which makes it dangerous. Hayden, 1-on-1 contest. Nellis couldn't quite take it. He had the sit. He had it on toast. Coming through there. On there by Veal. Gets it off to Barkley. On the outer side they go. And it's a good spoil there by Jordan Arnold. Right there with Tristan Davies. Tristan Davies having to come right down the ground to get involved in the play at the moment.
Yeah, they're just clinging on, aren't they, the students at present. Aspley are really winning the contested footy nearly every time.
Spencer, that's it down. Stewart coming out with the ball. Banuelos, he's dispossessed. Corvo, he looks a little bit ginger. Little kick there from Templeton, inside forward 50. On there by the defence, although they don't clear it real well. Castledine gets it forward. Stackelberg just keeps it in front, does well. And that's a free kick for too high. A bit overzealous to tackle. So they're just maintaining position. It was Goulden that gave it away. Jeffrey put his head over the footy. Kick to the front of the goal square. Ball at ground level. They just can't quite clear it effectively. Gowers went with the outside of the right. And Spencer had to get out of the way of it. That's a goal to Billy Gowers. And they keep adding them on here. Aspley, they're trying to put Sydney Uni to the sword before half time. Margin out to 31 points. 7-7-49 to Sydney Uni. 2-6-18.
Aspley's forward pressure has been fantastic this quarter. They've just kept that ball in that scoring zone. And I suppose at the same time, Sydney Uni's ball use coming out of defence has been terrible, hasn't it? Their handballs, I think, have missed most targets, and their kicks at times have missed targets as well. But certainly handballs. They're handballing into dangerous positions and missing their targets fairly frequently.
It's 4 goals to zip so far in this quarter. Students badly need one. Williams in the ruck. Couldn't quite get it down. Spencer, he was just manhandled as he got rid of it. Bailey Stewart likewise. Ball fed up there. Well done there by Templeton. Now to Spencer. Having the run of it here is Coughlin. He just need to bend down the first time a little bit further. It's it off to Gowers. Feeds it back inside. Well done by Arnold. Just shimmies around but then just turns it over. Will Sirakowski just mops it up. Kick off the side of the boot. It's it off there. It was Sirakowski there. I must have got the Sirakowskis mixed up. My apologies. And the ball stuck there. I did. It was Andrew that kicked the ball and almost fell down to Will. So my apologies to the Sirakowski family. Williams tried to grab it out of the ruck. Couldn't quite handle it. Hampton couldn't handle it either. Gowers could. Gets it off to Craven. Feeds it off in front of Templeton. Unable to be wrapped up, so releases Hampton now. Chipping ball, and that's a turnover again. I've let them off the hook here a couple of times, although not for long, I'm sure. Goulden. Little handball away. Veal. Cole. Barkley. Reinhardt. Under pressure, so they go out wide. If this bounces out, it might be interesting. And we're going to find out that it's a throw in.
Now easy kicks out of defence, isn't it, for Sydney Uni? Every time they've got the ball in the back half, they've been under the pump from ferocious Aspley forward line.
Warm day. Spencer took front spot. And Will Sirakowski couldn't quite handle it, so we'll have another throw in on that outer wing. Margin 31 points. Spencer looking for Payne. Couldn't quite find him because he was closely attended. Crockmall. Down Dawson's there. Just trying to hands and knees and funnel the ball out effectively to a teammate. Couldn't quite do so. Stern. Little one around the corner, but waiting there is Corvo. Gets it off to Payne. Payne. Kicked the wedge. Didn't quite get it. He towed it. Barkley, wrapped up by Murphy. Reinhardt, straight through his legs. Craven, now Nellis, feeds it back, now to Craven. Finds a bit of space and go round the corner. Waiting there is Freeman. Right on the goal line, and he'll have to be taken on the angle. He probably would have played on having his time again.
These ones aren't that difficult, Kanga, the way they play it these days. They just go around and hook the ball around. Should kick it.
Hand to foot, no problem. Margin out to 37 as John O. Freeman kicks his second. Becomes the first multiple goal kicker on the ground. So Aspley moved to 8 goals, 7, 55 to Sydney Uni, 2-6-18. And they have really made their move and put their stamp on this game and said, catch us if you can.
Yeah, they've dominated the second quarter, haven't they? Hasn't been many forays forward. If you look at the inside 50s, they probably paint a picture there. It's been in Aspley's forward half for the majority of this quarter, and they certainly deserve their 37-point lead. Their work around the contest has been fantastic.
29 minutes gone of this second quarter. And it's been a 5-0 second quarter for the Hornets. That's a better clearance. Will Sirakowski on the left. Benuelos and Corvo. No mark, so Benuelos gets it down to Morrison and hits the post. went around the corner, looked online for a moment, needed to bounce and take the leg break, come back in. So margin at 36, 6 straight goals, and off they go again, Aspley. Craven makes Spencer work for it, and then he gets it back. Gives him the 1-2, then gives it off to Matty Payne. Just racking them up as always. That's number 16 for him. Stackelberg kicks it off, looking for Hampton. Stevenson's there, but Hampton's good at ground level, just averts any trouble. Gives it back. Henderson, forced under pressure to give it to Hampton again. So they're mucking around with it here. Ends up with Dawson, who got it from Giles. And he just loads it up. Freeman couldn't do it, but at ground level was Nellis, and that's holding the ball or a throw. Just as the half-time siren sounds, averted a little bit more grief potentially for Sydney University. And at half-time, Aspley, the home side, have dominated that second quarter. They've kicked 5-3 to 3 points in that second quarter to lead 8-7-55. Sydney Uni 2-7-19. It was very good work by the home side, the Hornets, Bob.
Yeah, very happy with that. The coaching staff of the Hornets, they'll be pleased as punch with the work rate, the endeavour, the linking, all the bits that they've been looking for as a team. They've certainly brought to the table today at Voxson Oval, and they've set up a 6-goal lead. Probably should be 8 or 9 goals with the opportunities they've had up there. And Sydney Uni got a lot of work to do to get back into this contest. Just some of the better players, Gowers and Ives, have been very good around the footy with Matt Payne. Jackson Allen down back half has been really good. Spencer's had his hands full but kept working hard and have done pretty well. Doug Lawrence has done a good job, been a great contest with him and Tristan Davies. Dawson's been solid down back. Nellis was better that quarter. And look, they've got winners in most parts of the ground. Templeton's been a good contributor as well. For Sydney Uni, few and far between. Their two ruckmen have battled hard. Boo, not Blue, but Tagliabue and Cameron Williams have worked and rucked tirelessly. Tristan Davies, as I said, is having a good contest. Harry Morrison has looked dangerous, and Bartholomeus and Veal around the footy. But look, they've made a lot of mistakes, Sydney Uni. They really need to start handling the ball a bit cleaner and moving the ball a bit faster, Kanga.
That they have just some team stats and individual ones as well. Possessions going Aspley's way, not surprisingly, 178 to 142. Marks are fairly even. Inside 50s are 28 to 20. Clearances fairly even, although Aspley's 16 to 14 lead. And Sydney University lead the hitouts 19 to 18, so they have done quite well there. Leading possession getters Matty Payne. The Payne train, or yes, the House of Payne. The NEAFL MVP, multiple winner on that 3 occasions, I believe. He's had 17 disposals to lead all comers, 4 inside 50s and a clearance. James Ives, I think he's been the best man on the ground for mine. 14 disposals, 2 marks, 2 tackles, 4 clearances, 2 inside 50s and 2 rebound 50s. Gowers has had 13, including 3 clearances. Dawson, he's been a general off half-back, 11. Jasper Craven, like his game today, 11 disposals. And Stackelberg and plenty of others have had 9, including Templeton, Hayden as well. For the students, Lewis Stevenson, he has had 11 disposals to lead their count. 3 inside 50s, 3 rebound 50s. Bartholomeus has also had 11 and a clearance. And Veal and Barclay, they're the next best with 9 apiece. So they're all the numbers, thanks to our friends at Champion Data. As the sides have gone in for half-time, we're going to have a break. And thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. And here on NEAFL TV, it is Aspley by 36 points at the main change. Welcome back to a Voxson Oval here in the northern suburbs of Brisbane. And it's Aspley's home ground. And, of course, we are here on NEAFL TV, thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. It's half-time. We're about to kick off for this second half, but it is Aspley who holds sway here in this contest, this round 11 contest. And it is 8-7, 55 to 2-7-19. Bob Batty joins myself, Mark Kennedy, and Bob. It was a dominant second quarter from the home side, Aspley.
Yeah, the Hornets are very happy with that second quarter, probably their best quarter of the year, and they look to be going on with the chocolates at this stage. Let's see what Sydney Uni can do about that.
We're underway here again. Tagliabue gets it going his way first up. Stearns underneath the ball, judges it nicely in the air. Half forward, out of side. Now asked to play on. Chips the ball up. He'll look for Banuelos. Couldn't bring it down. Does well at ground level. But Gross is there. On hands and knees. Davies is right there with him. I'm just trying to get through my lunch. Bob, stuffing it down as I was talking to a few people.
It's always good to catch up with good footy people.
And one of those people I did catch up with was the father of Tom Jeffrey, Nick, and his wife Megan. Said to give her a bit of a rap for all the good work of Tom in that first quarter, kicking the goal. Ball outside on that outer wing. And Lucy was happy to take the ball over. He's gone back doing a job on James Nellis.
Yeah, that's an important matchup. He could really tear the game apart, Nellis. He took 4 good marks in that second quarter, kicked 1 goal 3. So he's a good player to watch.
Gower's got the armchair ride from Spencer. Clearance. Unable to take the mark there was Freeman. Robertson ripped off the ball. Gowers around the corner. He's kicked a goal in every game so far this year for Aspley. Hasn't added one so far. Ball spills harmlessly over the line. So 6 straight goals is the margin.
Yeah, young Sam Barclay is doing a good job keeping the little fella Murphy quiet. He is a dangerous forward.
Tagliabue just gets a hand in there. Payne gets it back. The fend-off came from Arnold. Little ball inside. Can't find Castledine. Barclay just a couple little high one. Murphy's there. He had his handball intercepted. Goulden just down the line, close to the boundary. Just bounces, stays in. But Cole easily taken over there by Jasper Craven. And a little bit of push me, shove you. Just out of the area of the cameras. Can't see that. Despite our best opportunity though behind the coach's box.
It's like smoking behind the old sheds at school, Kanga.
Which is quite topical for the students, perhaps. They need to be smoking of another kind, and that's the heat in their performance, because it's been a little bit off the boil. Just joined us. They lost Nick Foster early on to concussion, so he won't take any further part. So they are a man down on the bench. It was an innocuous contact that got him. No harm or no real intention behind it. Craven gets up and he's besieged by Tagliabue. Gowers gets the ball forward but rolls over the boundary line. Gowers gets up a little bit ginger from that contest.
Yeah, just tackled to the ground and just lower back area. He's stretching it there, and Jasper Craven exactly the same. 2 tackles in a row. A bit of a
stalemate with the head out. Ives just extracts it well. Trying to come through was Sierakowski. Couldn't do so. Ives on hands and knees. Been the best man on the ground for mine. Despite Matty Payne already racking up 19 disposals. Ives has 14. Tagliabue just got rid of Spencer. Didn't get any real purchase on the kick though. Ball at the ground level. Ives again. A little handball out. Sierakowski picked it up, gave it to Tagliabue. Down the line they go. And the defence, the dual defensive fists of Lawrence and Gross saved the day. Punch the ball. Punch it out.
It's been hard to budge that defence of Aspley today. You've had Dawson, Gross, Lawrence have all done a good job, and Jackson Allen been very good too.
Spencer puts it down to the benefit of Payne. He couldn't take it away though. Tagliabue. Stevenson off the one step, kicks it high. This is where Davies is hard to topple, but the cavalry arrived and the ball was touched and rolls over the line for one behind. So the margin back to 35 points. First score in the second half. And Jackson Allen, the beautiful right foot, brings it back in. Kicks it low and hard. Nobody goes for the ball. So it's over the back. The first one there is Williams. Payne's right there with him and just out-experiences him. Crockmore right there. Payne just chapped it on. Lucy had his handball smothered. Barkley feeds it out. Nice handball. Veal. Middle of the ground. Jackson Allen, first man of the contest, feeds it off quickly, although the handball didn't quite work as he would have liked. Templeton stands up, gives it on the left. And just dropping what he probably should have taken there was Carroll. But they will come away with it, the students, to a point. Because I say to a point because with the beautiful one-handed mark was Jordan Arnold. Loads it up. Goes to the fat side. Nellis. And doing the roving work was Spencer. And he, like a true ruckman, sliced it. No good.
Yeah, it was a little pitching wedge just off the side of the stick, really. But, yeah, opportunities. They probably had 3 or 4 opportunities late in the second quarter to really put a decent margin on the students, but another missed opportunity there.
Students bring it out of defence. Spencer was there, couldn't take it with him. Run there by Sydney Uni player. That was Cordell. A little bit of push me, shove you. Cole in there. Spencer hit out, feeds it out. Giles and Gowers combined. Put it inside forward 50 again. That's a good mark to Goulden. Good defensive mark as Nellis bed down on him. Veal has a runner. It's Hiscox. He's an elite runner. Gives it to Lucy. Generally got a good tank as well, although the kick wasn't good. Well done there. Templeton gave it to Hayden. He was under pressure. Now they just feed the ball back. Corvo, that's not a good kick. Makes Henderson work very hard and ball tied up. It's not a bad result for the students, and they'll be pinged. Holding the ball. Didn't make an attempt. Henderson was unlucky because it really wasn't a good ball from Corvo, and the kick from Stewart finds Benjuelos.
Yeah, both teams teeing the ball over by foot since half-time, and you know, it's really whoever's going to take their opportunities. Here's a chance for the students through Benjuelos. Just on his distance, I'd reckon this one can go, so let's see if he can ride this one home.
He's going to have to kick it all of 48 metres. He's got the distance and he has the accuracy. That's one the students badly needed. And Tom Benjuelos, the first goal of the second half, and just brings it back to 30 points. When he struck it, I wasn't confident for it, but it got there and it got there nicely.
Yeah, well, an important goal, isn't it? First goal this third quarter. They've Jake Spencer had the chance to extend that margin and missed. So, you know, 5 or 6 minutes into this, or are we 8 minutes actually into this third quarter before the first goal's kicked. So, good steadying effort there from Benjuelos. He's the second tall target up there. He had Gavin Gross all day as a defender, so not an easy target, but he's working hard up there for the students.
They will keep coming. Sydney University. Spencer trying to run onto it. There was Payne. Stewart was in there. Plenty of bodies around the contest. And this will be balled up yet again. Crockmore there. He's just trying to run and really stick fat with Matthew Payne at the moment. Couldn't take it with him. Now Payne comes back the other way. Left foot. High and deep. Robertson there. Just had the ball at ground level. It's a nice ball. Finds Veal. And Veal just held up. He's on his defensive 50. So he likes to go long down the line. Big fist of Gross. Just gets the ball, clears it nicely away from Ben Huelos. And the ball out of bounds on the outer side, out of wing.
Just haven't had that run from behind, have they, since the first quarter, where they linked and ran the ball fairly well from their defensive half into their attacking half, but haven't seen much of it since, Kanga.
No, they need to get it up and going again. It's a warm day here in Queensland, about 26, 27 degrees. It does feel quite warm out there, and no real, I suppose, cooling breeze pushing either way. It's the slight feel in my face, so coming even slightly across the ground. Spencer was there. Emerging with it was Stewart. Williams had his kick smothered. Running onto it is Sirakoski. Wanted to get on his left foot, but he couldn't handle it to start with. Crockmull, he's crunched in a tackle. And likewise is Dawson. And the ball tied up 45 metres from Sydney Uni as they attack their goal.
Their tackling pressure's been much better in this third quarter, so that's lifting them in some way.
Spencer tries to put it down, and Williams, his opposing ruckman, ran onto it. Bailey Stewart around the corner, gets right to the goal line. Ives is there to try and save the day, and I'll tell you what, if that goes out, that's got to be deliberate, doesn't it?
Not according to the umpire. Must have had an Aspley player in the vicinity, but it looked that was his probably sole intention, I would have thought, Kanga, but not to be.
Yeah, it's a free kick for mine. But I'm not out there umpiring. Tough gig it is. Ives emerged with the ball. He just kicked it away from defence, and there he is up around the contest. Reinhardt went to ground. Just allowed Stackelberg to pounce on it. One-on-one contest here to the back. Here's Jeffrey, gets it across. And well done, the young man's got two. So Tom Jeffrey, first game at NEAFL level for Aspley, and he's played one for the Lions so far, and now he's got 2 goals. Puts the margin back out to 36 points here. Nearly 12 minutes gone, and his mum Megan will be very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm sure she will be, and they'll be proud parents, I'm sure, as Austin Lucy, his direct opponent, comes off the ground for a bit of a spell. But yeah, good work, Tom Jeffrey. He works hard. He loves the endurance. He just keeps running all day. No real, splash about him or any, sort of bits of play that sort of look a little bit over the top. He just does his job each week that he runs out there, and he's been a good player for the Lions Academy this year.
Back in the middle. Coming through is Sirakoski. Takes it away. Gets on his favoured left. Davies, just in hot pursuit there was Doug Lawrence, and now Jasper Craven puts it back with some interest. Hampton's there all by himself at centre half forward. Inside forward 50 he goes, and just pushes it out to the right. Could have really put the game just about out of reach the way the momentum's swung Aspley's way since that quarter time. Back in. Crockmull forced to go high. Goulden takes a bounce. A little bit of open space. I was going to say a pretty good kick, but it went over the head of Hiscox, or Bartholomeus. Indeed. Emerging now is Jackson Allen on his non-favoured left and finds Jeffrey. Looks inboard. Left kick. Looks a little awkward, but effective. Finds Craven. And just the strength of Freeman, a bit better than Reinhardt in that one-on-one contest.
Yeah, you can just see the difference in body, can't you? Those Noosa Beach weights over many, many years. Kangas hold him in good stead, whereas Ned Reinhardt looks a little bit like a racing greyhound. He's got a good physique, but just needs to fill it out a bit. But here's a chance for Aspley to answer the challenge.
Pastime, muscle cars and bicep curls. John O'Freeman comes in. And kicks it out of bounds on the full. Built him up. Give me nothing.
He's actually kicked 2 or 3 out of bounds on the full today and missed one from probably 20 out. So a lot of missed opportunities from John O'Freeman today.
I'll bring it back in. That's a difficult kick. It just stays inside, and Reinhardt just clutches it before it goes over the boundary line. Chipping ball makes Stevenson work. Jeffrey just applies the pressure for Aspley. They might come away still. Barkley back to Reinhardt. Down the line they come. Banuelos just got to the front, but Dawson stood up and got back in there to get a hand on the ball. Over the line it goes.
Just watching Sydney Uni coming out of the back half there. Under pressure every time, aren't they? There's no free player. The Aspley forwards are really working hard defensively and really making sure that the ball stays in there.
Tagliabue. Crockmole, unable to take it cleanly there was Sirakoski. Corvo just gave it to his opponent, and then Aspley player Giles had to go on in and tackle. Allen, strong boy, just trying to drag Hiscox along with him. Umpire says that's a stalemate though.
Students need a lift from players of the ilk of Sirakoski, Hiscox, those players with experience.
They do. They come away. Murphy gives it to the run of Gowers. Forced to evade. Now just found a little bit of space. So Robinson, Nellis from the back, just tries to impact the contest. Ball to ground level. Goulden. In fact, it wasn't Goulden, it was Carroll. Helped tie the ball up. It's looking far more dangerous when they go forward at the moment. Inside 50s now, 38-24, so that's where the damage has been done. They're just having a lot more ball to contend with the Sydney Uni defence. Hampton can't take it with him. Coughlin tried to feed it out, but Hiscox got it going the other way. Corvo just controlled it nicely in the finish and put it back with a bit of interest. Over the back it goes. Jeffrey's there, but couldn't get there before the line was there, and the ball beat him. So the ball over for a point. 38 points to margin. I'll work it out to the outer side. Stewart's there. And this is where they've just been held up a little bit at half back. No real clear movement forward, and they turn it over yet again. Jasper Craven this time. Uses it well. To the Major. Major Payne. 3-time NEAFL MVP, Matthew Payne. You don't win MVPs with kicks like that, though.
No, both teams turning it over badly. Bailey Stewart turned it over poorly out of defence, and then Matty Payne there, which is unusual for him.
Davies did well and tapped it forward. Gross, though, just like a general in defence. There's another one. If he's the general, he's the major. Is Jackson Allen. His kick wasn't the best one. Robinson up the line, and there he is again. We have a player down out here. Aspley player. I'm just going to try and get the binoculars on him.
He's not well.
Eyes are open.
Jordan Arnold, by the look of it. Been a good defender for them all day. It was just a sort of, a couple of bodies in the marking contest. I think it was the ball hit the ground and Jordan Arnold ran into, I think it was Tristan Davies running to try and knock the ball forward, and they've got one in the mid-drift area, so he's looking a bit sore.
Yeah, a bit sore.
Bit wobbly,
and,
actually.
I think he might have hit his head there somewhere because he is a bit wobbly. So you'd suggest at this rate he might struggle to come back on this afternoon.
It's one each.
He's now left the arena, so play can resume. He's been not a bad player today, Jordan Arnold. Been in amongst it. Play goes on. Bailey Stewart, a quick kick away. No great impetus on it. And Giles for Aspley takes it half back. There's Long down the line. He's got a bit on it. Reinhardt had the sit, couldn't come down with it. Hampton at ground level, gives it to Ives. Ives, nice little pivoting ball. Finds Nellis. And Robertson collected Ives after he got rid of the ball, but Robertson went back and actually picked him up. So James Nellis, be a very good kick from here. Right on the boundary line. And just swings to the near side. Had a bit of a chance, but not to be.
Tough kick from there, isn't it, on that change room side and that pocket. I'm sure the Aspley players would practice that one as they walked into the rooms late after training. So Nellis was a chance, but not quite there.
Ball out. Ben Wellos had the sit, or had the front spot at least on Lawrence. To be. Score from one of the other NEAFL games in this round 11. It is Redland trailing the Giants 18 minutes into the last quarter by 3 goals. So not done with yet, but Redland will need to get moving. Hayden over it. And ball harmlessly over the boundary line. Ruckman do battle again. Trying to get over the back there was Williams. Spencer wins the day though. Lucy took front spot, did well on that occasion. Andrew Sirakoski wrapped up by Hampton. Going nowhere, so we'll have a ball up. So just the 2 goals here in this third quarter. So you wouldn't expect a long quarter at this point in time, although we had a stoppage due to the injury. Stewart. Dangerous kick across the goal. Carroll just gets under it, takes it nicely, and this is again where they've been held up. Now asked to go. Had his kick smothered there by Jeffrey, and again that's just poor stuff out of defence, Bob.
Yeah, no, they've had no run, they've had no initiative and drive, no run from behind even. Certainly it's been lacking since quarter time, and it's something that the students need to work on, I'm sure, between now and the end of the year.
Back into play. Spencer thought he'd got rid of his opponent. Gowers, he was dispossessed. So the students get it going their way out to the outer wing. Gross, trusty left fist. Doesn't clear it far enough for his liking. Lawrence, though, he's got the ball. Payne, the outside of the right, just gets it as far as he can. And that's downfield. So Aspley will keep the momentum going. Down further. The man coming up with the ball is Stackelberg, or is it going back? It's not downfield. In fact, it'll go back to Matt Payne.
Must have been a push as he's kicked it, and instead of it being in dispute, they brought it back for a free kick.
So Payne just lobs it up. Looking for the big boy, Spencer. Couldn't quite take it. Reinhardt, Stevenson, Williams. Again, this is where they've struggled, so they just need to find a better path out here. Barkley. And then get it out a bit further. Doesn't give Davies much of a chance because over his head, and then Dawson gets back on it, chips the ball inside and finds Hayden, so they can load up here again. Lawrence out to Payne. This will be number 23 for him. Gives it to Lawrence. On the left, just pulls the kick, lowers the eyes and finds Castledine on the outer side. They're just starting to do this with far too much ease, Bob.
Yeah, no, they're moving the ball much better, aren't they, Aspley? But Sydney Uni can't seem to get that run from behind and switch of play.
Murphy dispossessed. Then Ives, right in deep. Unable to take the ball was Giles.
Just can't put them away, though, can they? Like, I know Sydney Uni haven't looked like kicking a lot of goals in a row, but if they manage to get 2 or 3 now before three-quarter time, they're still in this contest.
Stevenson, been a stalwart for the students. Up the line on that occasion. Finds Sirakoski on the left. Nobody really home, although Dawson, the ball just set up enough, but he managed to get it in the path of Lawrence, who feeds it out. Off to Coughlin. Down the line, finds Stackelberg. It just hits the lead so hard. And here we got Spencer all by himself. The big boy goes at goal, and he messes it up again. I've been willing him to kick a goal, but he's giving Ruckman a bad name.
Look, he's working hard in the ruck, isn't he? Tagliabue and also Williams have tried hard against him. Here they go.
Here's Cole. That is just a poor kick. It just doesn't give Davies a chance, although it just clean bowls Dawson. And now Banuelos misses a soda.
Yeah, both clubs really missing some opportunities to really, Sydney Uni there to get back into the contest a little, and Aspley to put some more nails into the coffin. Beautiful kick.
And just all out on his own. There was Coughlin. I'm not sure where any Uni players were there. Half forward Stackelberg. Round the corner. Spencer again, although it's over his head this one. Goulden. Got time. Delivers. Hiscox. Crockmole was free there, but they chose not to use him. Instead used Andrew Sierakowski. That kick hits the ground, so play on. Bartholomeus. Little chipping ball finds Hiscock, who gives it back to Bartholomeus and to the big fellow, Tagliabue. And Bartholomeus. Now here's a little bit of a chance. Out of side. Banuelos.
Oh.
Just kicks it straight to Callum Castledine. You couldn't have put it in his arms any better. But nobody's really there. 2-on-1. Barkley did well on Murphy, and Goulden can't mop up because the kick doesn't hit the target. Gowers doesn't find Freeman, but Freeman's at it again. Reinhardt, desperation. Tagliabue applies pressure to Freeman. They might still come away with it, the students, which will be a minor miracle. Hiscox, they feed it in. Lucy gives it to the run. Robertson over the top of Davies and also Dawson. And the ball out of play. A comedy of errors both ways.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to put that one into a time capsule there, that last 3 or 4 minutes of play, Kanga. It was a lot of errors from both teams. Obviously, the pace of the game's probably getting to some of them. They're looking down their haunches, a few of them.
Henderson to Allen, stands and tackle. Nellis is having a go on the ruck. Tagliabue couldn't handle it. Hampton just tried to inject himself, couldn't take the ball with him. Gowers is there, stacks on the mill.
One player is handling the ball beautifully is Jackson Allen and kicking the ball immaculately.
40 points the margin. We'll do it all again. Stalemate. 1-6 to 1-2 in this quarter. Aspley's favour. At a 36-point lead at half-time. It's pushing out to 40 points now. Payne emerges with it. Assessing his options, decides to go the outer side. Freeman was there. Murphy applies the pressure on Barkley. It's had a quiet day is Murphy. 8 disposals, 3 tackles. Hasn't hit the scoreboard.
Good job, Barkley. He's been one of the players that have been consistent all day for the students and has played his role really well.
Spencer just tries to knock it into space for a runner. Doesn't go out though. Tagliabue handballs it. Bartholomeus tips it out. Murphy, quick handball. Ives almost kicked it out of mid-air. Stackelberg just has the run of it. Looking for an option, and Nellis it is who gets it. And that was clever play there by James Ives firstly, but Connor Stackelberg in the way he assessed the situation.
Yeah, no, the 2 players you mentioned, Ives has been probably, as you said, probably nearly pick of best on ground at this stage after 3 consistent quarters, and Stackelberg's been a very productive forward for his team.
So James Nellis directly in front, kicks it from 45 metres out. That looks online, and it is. It's 2 for Nellis. And extends the margin out to 46 points. We've played as part of 29, getting towards 29 and a half minutes of this third quarter. And the game's dead for me, Bob, because the students just don't look likely.
No, they've certainly had a couple opportunities in the last 4 or 5 minutes, but their use by foot and hand has been terrible all day, and something that they really need to work on. And I'm sure coaching staff, Tom Morrison and his coaches, will be really working on that to lift their spirits. So certainly in this last quarter, they really need to show something. But Aspley Hornets have got this game on ice at this stage.
Inside 50s, Aspley's way 47-26. Clearances 29-22, Aspley's way. Hit-outs even. Possessions 258-216. Aspley's way as well. Just about at three-quarter time, I would have thought. Giles there, spins out. Not sure he got an effective handball away. Coghlan and Hampton combine. It's out wide. Payne's there. Starting to really rack them up. Goes in forward. Reinhardt comes out in front of Freeman that time. Takes a nice mark in defence. They've had their hands full, the defence, but they haven't helped themselves turning the ball over.
No, it was another example there where he just didn't have anyone working for him once he's taken the mark, and no players running past, no one to chip to, just no movement whatsoever. They look deflated as a unit at the moment.
They do.
Students.
They do. As we mentioned, warm day out there. Giles. Handball over the top, only finds Andrew Sirakowski. And it's the three-quarter time siren. And it is Aspley who take a 46-point lead into three-quarter time. While I get Bob Batty's thoughts in just a moment, I'll just read through some of the stat getters. For Aspley, Matthew Payne's had 25 disposals, 8 inside 50s and 4 clearances. James Ives, 21 disposals, 5 clearances, 5 inside 50s and a couple of rebound 50s and a very courageous mark early in that third quarter as well. Will Gowers has had 18 and 15 to Craven, while Stackelberg, Allen, Dawson and Templeton have had 13 apiece. And for the students, Sydney University, Lewis Stephen has had 15, as has Jake Bartholomeus also on that 15, and also Veals had 15 as well. And then Stewart and Robertson have had 13 apiece. They've been outpointed so far. Bob Batty, how have you seen this game so far?
Yeah, look, they've certainly set themselves up to really get a convincing victory here, the Aspley Hornets. It was a must-win game, and they've certainly played like it really meant something to them, haven't they, today? And Coach Daniel Webster and his coaching staff, they'll just rue some of the missed opportunities they've had. 10-13 and probably 3 or 4 out of bounds. They could be probably 60 points up as we speak. But been a convincing 3 quarters from their team, and none better than James Ives, Matt Payne. I've liked the work of Jackson Allen and Liam Dawson down defence. And Doug Lawrence done a good job on Davies. And Connor Stackelberg's been good up forward, as is James Nellis. Jasper Craven's been another good contributor from wing and half back. But for Sydney Uni, few and far between. Their 2 ruckmen have tried hard. Lewis Stevenson's tried hard. Bartholomeus and Barclay, I'd give him a mention too. He's worked hard on Murphy, but not many winners. And certainly Aspley Hornets have deserved this 46-point commanding lead at three-quarter time.
That's what they have. So we'll take a break here from Voxson Oval. And this round 11 clash looking the way of Aspley at the moment. We'll see what this last quarter shapes up for us after this break. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Voxson Oval. Last quarter just about to get underway here. It is Aspley, the home side, by 46 points at the last change, 10-13-73. Sydney University, 3-9-27. Aspley have been dominant since quarter time and really extended the margin at every change. Underway again. Mark Kennedy's my name, joined by Bob Batty, who will hear in special comments in just a moment. Hayden gets it off to Payne. Little handball finds Templeton, who off to Hayden again. Trying to bring rain. That ain't coming anytime soon. And the push was from Stackelberg on Goulden. Not happy about it, Stackelberg. They play on quickly, do the students. Banuelos couldn't take it. Stern off one step. This would be a good opening, although it was touched off the boot, I thought I saw the umpire say. And the students get the first score each of, I think, the 4 quarters, albeit a point on each occasion. A little bit of a stat for you there, Bob Batty.
Yeah, no, quick kick from Stern there forward. He's been pretty quiet today. He's usually very dangerous, but been well held by the Aspley defenders.
The students will come back with it again. It's Bartholomeus. And good work there by Corvo. Just away from Banuelos. Jackson Allen. Piercing ball finds Jasper Craven from the square. Gives it over the top. Has Ives. The run of Hayden is there as well. A little bit of room to move. Couple of bounces. 60 out. Just pumps it deep. And the mark from Nellis. Just sat up for him and he judged it better. And the defender there, might have been Carroll, just had to get more body on there, Bob.
Yeah, look, it was quick movement though, wasn't it? It was well set up. It all started from the kick in, didn't it? From certainly the player, in my opinion, who's pushing James Ives' BAG is Jackson Allen. His kicking has been sensational.
Nellis comes in and kicks number 3. Had the opportunity to kick 3 in the first quarter and end up with 0-3, and he's kicked 1 in each of the subsequent quarters to end up with 3 for the game so far. Margin now out to 50 points.
Yeah, as I was mentioning, a beautiful kick in. It was centimetre perfect, as one of our old commentators would say, out to this half-back flank. And then the use of hands with Ives and also Hayden was very good to get the ball in. And he sort of had as you said, Carroll didn't have any body on him, and once Nellis has got no body on him and running at the footy, he's hard to beat.
James Nellis, 3 goals, 4, 6 marks, 11 disposals. Been quite effective up forward. Underway again. Tagliabue got it down, but Templeton just shakes a couple of would-be tacklers off and then waxes with the big fella in Spencer, then Corvo gets it to half forward, and there's that man again, mark number 7 for James Nellis. He hoists it high, looking for Freeman. What on there on that occasion by Reinhardt, and he goes to ground with the ball, but didn't have any opportunity, so it'll be a ball up. Up again, Tagliabue takes it out of the ruck. Gets it going his way, but only finds Jackson Allen. Too far out to score. Kicks it low, hard, and accurately. And finds James Ives. In your view, Bob, the 2 best players on the ground combining.
Yeah, no, well, they've certainly put a space on the rest of the players on the ground, in my opinion, these 2. They've... James Ives has worked hard. His work rate has been fantastic. His courage was personified with that mark that we saw right in front of us. But Jackson Allen, his use by foot, compared with a lot of the other players on the ground, has been fantastic.
5 clearances, 5 inside 50s, 22 disposals, James Ives, and a goal. Pushes the margin out, does James Ives, to 56 points. Well, the game's on ice now for Aspley, and they'll see them in the top 6 at the end of play. coach Daniel Webster would be very pleased what he's seeing after quarter time.
Yeah, been consistent effort, hasn't it? Their work rate's been fantastic. They've worked for each other. They've had winners all over the ground, and every player on the ground has contributed to this lead that they've currently got. So, whereas Sydney Uni got a lot of players, a few passengers, I would have thought today in this performance.
There's been a lot of contributors on the Aspley side, and as you said, there's been few and far between in terms of really good players for the students. Templeton comes away with it again. And Stackelberg just worked his way off his opponent and then just took a mark in front of the pack. And again, it just everything falling Aspley's way. One goal, Stackelberg. And that'll be number 2. So 14 disposals for Stackelberg. 6 inside 50s. Just leads up the ground very hard. Good hands. And pretty good at ground level. Works hard. And has got reward of 2 goals for the afternoon.
He's been an improver, hasn't he? They've got a number of those players that have found NEAFL footy the last couple of years. They've really worked their way and clawed their way up to becoming good contributors for their team. Jasper Craven's one that comes to mind straight away. Hayden, chap that went off the ground injured, Jordan Arnold's another one, and certainly Stackelberg has really cemented a place up in that forward half.
Margin 62 points. Williams gets it down. Bartholomeus. Davies. Beaten there on that occasion by Lawrence. Stern and also Cordell combined. Cordell kicked it high. Gross couldn't handle it but had plenty of time to mop it up. Kicks it in the path of Hampton. Gathers it on the bounce. Steps inside. Andrew Sirakowski couldn't take it cleanly. Giles could. Craven's kick was smothered. Reinhardt just edged Stackelberg under the ball. Cole cleaned up by Giles after the kick. That's downfield. And that is not real clever from Giles, I wouldn't have thought.
He was very late.
Very late, and there's no real need. So...
Ball's gone through for a rush behind down there, I think.
And, I just wonder why you do that when the game is well and truly beaten. And it's over, and you're in front at that. Hampton got it from Dawson. Henderson through the middle. Good pick up there by Hampton. Nellis again. Spoil that time from Carroll was a better one. Off the ground from Stackelberg. Sydney might come away with it though. Andrew Sirakowski, little chipper. Can't find a target. Payne just looks inside. Gowers. Just got the... Henderson had his kick smothered there. Barkley misses his target, which was Bartholomeus. Benuelos just came through like a bullet at gate. That's a throw, so Aspley will win the free kick. There was Henderson who won it, then Payne kicks it. On there by Reinhardt. Ball ends up with Nellis though. Unselfish play. Went towards Spencer. He didn't like the call from the umpire. Then Hiscox just clears it out. Davies. The spoil from Gross was good. Allen. Craven. Gross. Wrapped up but gets a handball away to Craven, so they will just come away with this yet again. Craven right to forward 50. Spencer. Hold the big mitts on it. .55. Winds up. Nobody home though. Reinhardt, the only man. He should have looked a bit shorter. And Reinhardt's kick did not find a target out on that outer side. Target was Bartholomeus. And the ball just bounced over the boundary line. I think might be Jack Coughlin going to just fetch it for the umpire.
Yeah, look, their kicking out of defence has been poor at best, hasn't it, the students? And no run, no chipping the ball around, and certainly their longer kicks have missed targets all day, so poor play.
Spencer couldn't quite get it effectively down. Stewart feeds it back. Veal. Davies flew high, couldn't bring it down with him, no. Crockmall manages to squeeze a handball out. Stevenson, Banuelos. Hiscock sits underneath it, but the spoil was well done there by Jeffrey. Gets it off to Hampton. Corralled there by Lucy. Castledine. And just Robertson just stood the mark so he couldn't play on.
Yeah, never lacks courage, does he, the former Grogan medalist, Callum Castledine?
Kick wasn't his best effort, but Nellis is good enough to pick it up. Just pivots. And the ball just set up a bit too high for Payne, and coming through there was Williams. So the kick was touched. Bartholomeus had to move quickly, gave it to Hiscox. To the big boy Williams. Half forward, one-on-one contest. Now plenty of Aspley players there. Even at ground level, Cordell outpointed by Lawrence. And Lawrence's kick is right on the money and finds Dawson. They're just racking them up now across half back. Just got them on toast.
Yes, Dawson's been good today, but so has Lawrence. He's been on a very good player in Davies, and just like the way he's worked all day.
Corvo kicks a long one, and sitting underneath it was John O. Freeman. Carroll couldn't get there quick enough. And John O. Freeman has kicked 2 goals, 1 today. Couple out of bounds on the full. 7 disposals, 7 marks.
Yeah, look, it could have really hurt them today with his shots at goal. Let's see if he can finish on a high note.
I think I just heard what he said when he kicked it. And it's something we probably can't say on NEAFL TV. Fair to say it was the kick was errant. 2 goals, 2 for John O. Freeman. Veal goes down the ground. That's a long ball. Williams couldn't take it. Bartholomeus had his kick smothered. Craven feeds it out. Hayden, Gowers, now to Hampton. Hampton 60 metres out. Freeman might get another go here. Couldn't take it. Veal affected to smother. Lucy just goes around the corner, but there's hornets everywhere. There's a nest. Jeffrey's one of them. Chipping ball. Just didn't quite find Coughlin. Murphy's there. Ives spins out of trouble, gets around a couple, and then the handball just didn't quite hit the target.
I'd like a $1 for each handball that's missed targets today, Kanga. There's been a hell of a lot of them, ineffective handballs from both teams.
Well, we've had 238 handballs in total between both sides. I'd say probably about 20% of them at least have missed. Ball under plenty there. It's going nowhere. Inside 50s, 59 to 31. So after quarter time, it's been an avalanche one way. Tagliabue got it going his way. Barkley. And he might be in trouble, is he? No. No Pryor, says the umpire. Didn't have a chance. Tackler was Giles. Tagliabue just tries to clear the area, but only got it as far as Hayden. Gave it to Templeton. And Templeton just couldn't quite drag it back enough.
He was on his favourite left shoe there too, Kanga. You just about back him from there. So they've missed a lot of easy opportunities, I would have thought, here, Aspley.
That's not a good kick either. That was from Goulden. They just combine Ives and Gowers. Hayden was there as well. There'll be another rush behind. No. It's a better kick. Finds Bartholomeus. Gives it and puts it in the path of Got to get that right. Banuelos. He was tackled by Dawson, but Banuelos does well. Feeds it up. Gives it to the big boy Williams. Got to give it inside, and the handball just misses the target. Another $1 for us there, Bob, I think.
Millionaires today, Kanga.
We would be. Gowers gave it to Hayden. In turn gives it to Templeton. Looking to load up on the left. Does so now. Freeman. Had plenty of it. Not enough, says the umpire. Barkley, Lucy and Hiscox combine, with the latter getting it out to the outer wing. Crockmoll's there. Clever tap there by Giles, although I was going to say didn't quite have the effect he wanted. Giles dispossessed, so win the free kick. Stern. Decided too much of Stern today. Had the 8 disposals. That was number 9. Hiscox over the top of the pack. Henderson goes back. The ball just ricochets off some bodies. Ives gets it. It's out to Jeffrey. A bad debut in the Hornets colours. Didn't go the full measure. Craven handled it to himself. Bartholomeus laid the tackle.
Yeah, you got to tip your hat to Bartholomeus. He's worked hard all day, hasn't he? He's got a fair bit of the footy for him, but he's really worked hard at ground level around the contest.
Tagliabue just fends off an opponent. Back to Bartholomeus, who have a handball that Stevenson couldn't handle. Throw in. Spencer works his way to the front. Stevenson was held by Ives. Play on, says the umpire. A bit unlucky there. Payne on hands and knees. Good handball. Spencer. Craven. Andrew Sierakowski tries to duck under a tackle. Was grabbed by the leg in the finish. Hiscox couldn't handle the Barkley handball. Coughlin comes out. Open spaces for Freeman to work here. Trapped it well. Goes around the corner. Looking for Stackelberg. Just protected the drop of the ball wonderfully. And takes a very clever mark.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of kicks from Freeman. He saw out of the corner of his eye that Stackelberg had some space by himself up there, but just managed to get enough toe poke on it and turn it around enough for Stackelberg to use his body brilliantly, as you said, Kanga. And this is one that he should kick, but they haven't been kicking them.
2 goals straight. Started to the near side and it stays to the near side.
So lucky the game's not in, it's up for grabs because some of the shots that they've had have been very gettable, and it really could set up would have been a huge victory for them.
That's a good mark there by Davies in front of Gross. Once he gets a run at it, he's hard to stop, Davies, but he just hasn't had enough opportunities from the back. Ben Wellos is involved and got it back there. Stewart, and that's a better kick inside forward 50. And it's quality entries inside forward 50 have been few and far between, and it's the bloke who was at fullback to start the game, Michael Carroll, who's down there having a shot for goal.
Yeah, he's had his hands full all day, hasn't he, Michael Carroll, and they've managed to push him forward now and give him a chance down there, and this is his chance. He is a nice kick, so distance won't be a problem. Can he have the accuracy of some of his teammates who haven't had that today?
Carroll comes in and starts right and stays out there. So very disappointing. So the margin only dips by 1, 64 points. Corvo with the ball. Done a couple of good things, Corvo. Lawrence had the ball spoiled away from him. Andrew Sierakowski kicks it high. And just emerging with the ball there was Craven. And the big boy, Tagliabue. He's tried hard.
Yeah, I reckon he's been their best today.
Bartholomeus to Sirakoski, I should say, and there's Davies. So good mark there by Davies. He hasn't had too many opportunities, as we mentioned. And we'll see what he can do to narrow the margin. It matters little. 20 minutes gone this last quarter. 63 points behind. Comes in 35 metres out and nails it. So Tristan Davies kicks his second for the day. 2 goals, 2. He's tried hard when he's had opportunities, but as we mentioned, the opportunities haven't been plentiful. Margin back to 57 points.
Yeah, as I said, good effort there from Sam Tagliabue. He, former Essendon VFL, had a run down there, I think, with the Bombers at one stage. And look, he's certainly been tireless today. He's had a big job on Spencer. They've nullified each other, I think. And young Williams, Cameron Williams, has shown a little bit in there as well for Sydney Uni. So they've probably broken at least square in those ruck duels around the ground. And but that's probably one of the only areas on the ground that I think they've either halved it or got their nose in front.
Getting into the shadows of this game. Spencer went early. Still got it down to eyes, but they coughed the ball up. We'll take it forward. Sydney Uni. There's Morrison. Haven't seen much of him. Jackson Allen. Getting it down there was Goulden, but it went straight to Payne. Payne, the kick wasn't a good one. But he'll gather it. Stackelberg gives it to Hampton. Hampton has options aplenty, one of which is John O'Freeman in the pocket.
A lot of finger pointing there from the Sydney Uni defenders, but no one really going anywhere near their opponents. Just minding grass, some of them. So not a good finish. There are a lot of hands on hips and very dejected, and really not much to get out of this contest.
Freeman starts it to the near side. One thing Aspley can take away from this game is obviously how dominant they were, but how poor their goal kicking's been today. They've had opportunities aplenty.
Well, when you look at it, it's been 17 goals 30 between the two teams, so very poor conversion.
In what has been conditions ideal for football.
Perfect.
30 shots on goal, Aspley. 17 Sydney Uni. Not to mention a few errant shots that have gone out in the full as well. So at a half-forward flank, Aspley attacks. Spencer gets it down off the ground. Inside forward 50 for Aspley. Nellis gets it away, finds Ives. Ives just not sure where to go. Nellis got back up off the ground and said to Ives, give it to me. Kicked it right to the line. And across the face it went. Freeman did his best to take them back, but not to be. Another behind. 13-18, playing 4-13. Uni take it in, and I thought for a moment Stevenson was going to drop that, but just bobbled it, but held on. Barkley. It's playing out time now, the students. I think they're happy to pack up their kit and go home. Through the middle. Go Sydney Uni, up to half forward. Andrew Sirakoski unceremoniously dumped by Corvo. Now Hampton comes through, sets it up, Castledine. Lucy was coming the other way. Hampton bursts through, takes a bounce. Not sure what to do. He was looking to pass it off, and he should have kicked it, and he does. I thought for a moment he was going to do anything but go for the goal. But in the finish, that was an outstanding piece of play by Lonnie Hampton for a goal.
Yeah, well read off the pack, wasn't it? It was a lot of courage there from the man we mentioned, CC, Castledine. Threw his body in, running the same way as a footy with Austin Lucy bearing down on him. But well read by Hampton. He just seemed to break through and make some space for himself. Stuck between two players, just squeezed through, had a bounce, had a look. Probably wanted to give it off, and in the end they said, no, have a shot, and he's wobbled that one through. So good effort. He's been good in the second half, pretty quiet in the first half.
Margin out to 65 points. Away again. They've just dominated the clearances here. Hayden and Gowers. Gowers just couldn't get anything effective on it. Stevenson. Will Sierakowski. He is tied up. Ball going nowhere there. Lonnie Hampton, 17 disposals. Vast majority in this second half too. It's really built into this game. Big Williams only tapped it down straight to Jake Spencer. Just thrown off the ball was Will Sierakowski. Not happy. Templeton around the corner. Reinhardt attacks it, does well. And half back, just kicks it up. Stern. Jackson Allen wasn't watching the ball there, so Stern took it. Ball over the back. Oh, it's not taken there by Ben Wellos, but emerging is Crockmore. Gets handball away. Henderson is there. Corvo in support. Henderson goes around the corner, and Coughlin takes it. They'll get away with this. I thought it should have been a Sydney University goal for sure.
Yeah, he had the best spot, didn't he, at the back there, the Sydney Uni forward, but unfortunately wasn't able to take the kick from Stern, who kicked it beautifully to his advantage.
It's a good kick by Allen. Finds Hampton. Worked very hard for that one.
The kicking from Jackson Allen's been the highlight of the day for me. He has not missed a beat with every kick that he's had today. He probably had about 20, but every one of them has been a bullet.
They go long. And half back, they're just raffling the ball a fair bit at the moment. It's Ives. On the outer side, half back, looking up for an option. Freeman was it. Lucy was right there, just took his run away from him. Templeton, hands and knees. Mopping up there. Right on there by Cole. Stevenson, now back to Cole. Stern and Jackson Allen. Just a bit too big, Jackson Allen. Then just ride him, cowboy. Josh Stern. That's the only way he could sort of hold up the ball today that has been Jackson Allen. He's had 15 kicks. Not counting those from fullback, of course, after a point.
Coming off of the blood rule now, he looks like the saddle must have got caught on his snoz, as there's a little bit of claret coming through there, but yeah, he'd be well pleased with his performance today, Jackson Allen.
The saddle slipped.
I think they'll need the deafeners on Kanga in the change rooms with Tommy Morrison. He wouldn't be happy with their performance today, the students. In a must-win game, they've been pretty ordinary.
That they have. Said it was an 8-point game. Cordwell just buffeted off the ball. Gowers. Templeton. He's just swung off the ball, so that's holding the ball. On there by Bailey Stewart. A short one. Finds Stern. Play on's the call. Ball in board. Veal. Long one. It was Dawson with the spoil, happy to spoil the ball over the back and out of bounds. Closing minutes of this last quarter. Wouldn't think there's too much longer. Spencer takes it out of the ruck. And Gowers, the pirouette, just to finish off play. Something a little bit dainty, spectacular, if it wasn't come a cropper on the way with the 360. But it matters not, because the full-time siren has sounded, and it's Aspley with a 65-point win. They lost to Sydney University by 47 points in the round one clash, and they've responded at home to really towel them up by 10-plus goals. It was Aspley 14-18, 102 to Sydney University 4-13, 37. It was, from quarter time, it was 11 goals to 2. So it was all the way of the Hornets in what was a comprehensive victory, Bob Batty.
Certainly was a comprehensive victory. Good to see a couple of those concussed boys out there. One of them there is civvies, and the other one with their tracksuit top on. That's Hayden, was it, or was it Arnold? Arnold. Jordan Arnold, that was KO'd in the third quarter for Aspley. And certainly good to see the young fella getting up and about on both of those stages. Nick Foster, I think, was the other one for Sydney Uni. But a great win for the Hornets. Coach Daniel Webster was sitting 3-5, and this was a must-win game. Would have been emphasising that to his troops all week, and they certainly came out to play today, and certainly well deserved their win. And no better players than Ives and Allen. Stackelberg up forward was good. So was Nellis. Payne probably got leather poisoning again. Dawson down back. Certainly Doug Lawrence did his job well, but they had winners all over the ground. Whereas the students really didn't have many at all. I like the work of their two ruckmen, Tagliabue and Williams. And after that, it was few and far between. Certainly, I would say Stevenson got plenty of the ball. Barkley did his job on Murphy, and Bartholomeus worked hard, as did Jake Veal. But not many things to take with them today, Sydney Uni. And that puts the Aspley Hornets into the finals contention for the first time this year. They'll be in the top 6.
Well, Coach Daniel Webster has said that they are building. They just need to string a few together and get that confidence in what they were doing. They're just goal kickers and leading possession getters before we sign off. It was 3 goals to James Nellis, 3-5 in fact. John O'Freeman kicked 2, along with the debutant Tom Jeffrey and Connor Stackelberg. They had 2 apiece. And then singles to Ives, Gowers, Hampton, Hayden and Giles. And for the students, Sydney University, few and far between here. Banuelos had 1, Davies had 2, and the only other goal kicker was Darcy Cordell. He had 1. Leading possession getters, Matty Payne. He got 30 disposals. I'd like $1 for every time he got 30 disposals in the NEAFL. He had 30 disposals, 5 clearances, 9 inside 50s. James Ives, 29 disposals, 5 clearances, 5 inside 50s and a goal. Will Gowers had 22 possessions. Jackson Allen had 20. Templeton had 20 as well, including 6 clearances and 6 inside 50s. Craven had 19. Hampton had 18 with a goal there. A spectacular one the last quarter. Lewis Stevenson had 23, along with Bartholomeus for Sydney University. And James Veal was the next best with 20. We might wrap it up there, as teams have made their way off the ground. Aspley will be jubilant, while Sydney University deflated. That's pretty fair to say. Bob Batty, thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Thanks
for your company. And we will be back with you next week for another edition of NEAFL TV. Thanks to Bar TV, who are our wonderful broadcast partner, and thanks to Timmy here, who does a wonderful job as always. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you again for the next instalment of NEAFL TV.